couple of things. First of all, I remember her giving me really good marital advice in telling me that no matter how fun I thought it might be to never pour ice water on my husband while he was showering, that it would not end well. And I assume she did that at the beginning of your time together and never did it again. So she learned from that.
She is a fast learner.
Yeah. But the dream I want to talk about was Shae's. She told me about this. They hadn't been married, well, maybe a couple of years. And one night she woke up because Shae was kicking her and pushing her and get out, go. And she was like, what happened? Why? But he wasn't awake. He was asleep, but he kept pushing her. And finally she just got out of the bed and he'd moved all the way over onto her side. And she was just distressed. And she thought,
go over onto his side.
Well, she thought, what have I done? Why is he so unhappy with me? What has happened? But it was cold. So she did, as you said, Pauline, she just went around and got in on his side and slept the night away. And the next morning, Shae told her, oh, honey, I had the worst dream. There were these people that were trying to get you. And I was like, no way. And I just got rid of him. I just pushed him. I just fought him until I got him away from you.
Problem solved.
And Shani, I tell you a similar story about my husband. When we were fairly newlywed, we didn't have a bed. We just had a mattress on the floor. And he was asleep. And I had stayed up late reading a book. It was one of the Twilight books about vampires. And so I was feeling a little bit like, oh, vampire. And it was late. So I finally put the book down and I went to go to sleep. And I rolled over and I literally just touched him lightly on the shoulder. And he rolled out of bed and landed on his hands and knees and went, quit, babe, you're breaking me down. Okay, never mind. So I got back in bed. And in the morning, I was like, sorry. He's like, what are you talking about? Oh, nothing.
Megan's let me sleep ever since.
If I touch you at night, freak you out.
Well,
Whoops, I'm muting. Whoops.
No, you're good.
Oh, hit it again.
Oh, now
Judy,
you're muted.
Hit it again. You're muted.
Thank you for wanting to hear me. But when Brenda came home, Ellen and I and Mom and all the families were up in the Teton house. And Brenda said to Ellen and I, do you know what you can do on a king-size bed?
It's after our honeymoon.
And after Ellen woke up from her faint, she said, you can sleep either sideways or long ways, because she was so tall.
You can lay all the way across it and your legs don't hang off.
Okay, I'm through. I gotta go. Love you all.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
I need
Say
to
hi
tell,
to Glenn for us.
I need to tell another story about Brenda. When we moved out to Ohio, we stopped in Layton, Utah to visit our friends, the Ostlins. And we were not there very long, maybe a couple of hours visiting. And one of their teenage boys had a friend that was over. And somehow, I don't even know how the conversation went here, but Brenda got onto the subject of the Lord of the Rings, and she started telling the story of the Lord of the Rings, and she was very engaged, very animated. And that was that. We left, we got in our trucks, we went on to Ohio. After Brenda died, my friend Donna, by then the Ostlins had moved to Maryland, but she was back visiting in Layton, and she met up with this friend of her son's. And he asked about Brenda, and she told him, oh, I'm sorry, Brenda died of cancer. And he burst into tears. This kid that met Brenda once in his life. And he said, she can't be dead. She changed my life. He said, I had never been a reader. I never read anything. I didn't read for fun. But he said, I listened to her tell about the Lord of the Rings, and I went home and started reading those books. And he said, I have become a reader, and I read everything, and I read for pleasure, and it has completely changed my life. But I've always thought of that as the kind of the quintessential story of the impact that Brenda could have in people's lives. He only met her for an hour, hour and a half, maybe. And yet when he heard she died, he burst into tears because she'd had so much impact in that hour and a half.
I think that's a
I
perfect ending place.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for all of the great stories. Happy anniversary, Dad. Oh, FYI, Dad and Pauline are also celebrating their 20th years this year. We are planning a Hawaiian luau August 7th at Marie's house. We're going to do a pig roast. More things to be determined, but
Spencer says, we'll rent the roast or we're not digging a hole.
Hey,
hey, so
a guy like Spencer can't dig a little hole.
A guy like Spencer can dig a massive big hole, but he just got the whole thing straightened out from the last time he dug one and put in the new septic tank, and he's not doing it again.
Okay.
anybody who wants to come, we will be celebrating Dad and Pauline in August, but they will be coming to Idaho for family reunions and other fun shenanigans in July. So
Okay.
make sure you wish them a happy anniversary wherever you see them.
Okay.
And with that, we're
Thank you
taking
all.
off. Love
Ryan, did you
you.
wanna
Good night.
Love you.